Taking a look at their, not just the Tilson home, but specifically their property, their land, their farm, and want to talk a little bit about what brought you guys out here, why this independent lifestyle. Tell us a little bit about the farm, and then we're going to check this thing out.
First and foremost, got to give credit to the Lord above. He led us to this land and led us to Tilson on getting our dream home built, and hopefully we might get another one later on in the future.
Okay.
But we like to try to grow our own food as much as possible, have that independence. We know how the food is raised, how we're raising it. The animals are happier, so when they're happy, you're going to be happy too when it's time for, you know, their end to come.
Awesome.
So,
well, let's go check this place out. Thanks for having us out. Let's go.
Thanks, it's an honor.
Let's take a walk. All right, so Will, I see a whole bunch of stuff happening out here on the farm. First thing I'm seeing here is some chickens that we're walking up on. Tell me a little bit about kind of what the method is. They're clearly in some type of a chicken tractor.
Yes. I built these three chicken tractors. They've had a little bit better days. It's been a rough year.
Yep.
But these are our egg layers that are in here.
Okay.
They're not quite ready to go to our other flock, but they're getting there. And then right over here in this tractor is some meat chickens, and that other tractor over there is some meat chickens. I got them all tarped up because we've been getting rain finally.
Finally getting some rain, yeah.
Finally.
And so how frequently are you moving these tractors around?
About once a day, once every other day. Okay. It depends on how fast they mow and eat it up, because they're still happy. They're still getting everything that they want to do. It's just trying to keep them safe from the predators.
Sure. And as you move around, they're fertilizing the ground beneath,
yes,
right?
Yes. They clean it up, get all the bugs, grass, and everything, but they're also putting their good fertilizer down.
Sure.
So come springtime, where they've been at, that's going to be a lot darker, deeper green.
Yeah, no, I know a guy who runs a hay operation, and he pays for chicken manure by the 18-wheeler load to fertilize the pastures. So nice. This is a great idea on a scale that people can manage. And yeah, it's just a beautiful thing that you move them throughout, and then they become chicken nuggets?
Yes, the meat chickens, they will be processed and have a date with the freezer.
Okay.
We're going to try a different meat bird next year, the American breast.
Okay.
They're a hardier, healthier bird. These crosses, it's been a learning experience this year with them. They don't like cold, they don't like hot, they don't like rain, they don't like it windy. So you got to keep a perfect environment for them for the most part. If you overfeed them, they can have a heart attack. If you underfeed them, other things can happen. So it's kind of hard balancing everything to make it perfect for them. Yeah. Where like these egg layers here, some of them can be a dual purpose. And usually a straight line like that, they're hardier, healthier, they're more disease resistant. So we're going to try that with the American breast next year.
Awesome. And
these three tractors will get torn down at the end of the year. I'm going to make a different one.
Okay.
Due to the Texas weather over here, it's a little different.
Well, I see some other animals over here. Let's go take a look at these cows.
All right.
Check this out. Go to that part. All right, so we've left the chickens. We're heading over here now to see if we can get the cows to talk to us. What brought you to the idea of having all the different types of animals? So, I mean, you don't focus on just one. We've got all different kinds.
It's a little bit of everything. We wanted to raise our own beef, raise our own pork. We got our own eggs. Even the turkey eggs are good.
Okay.
If you think a duck egg is big compared to a chicken egg, those duck eggs look like a small chicken egg compared to the turkey eggs.
Okay.
But they're very good. And we got the ducks. They're telling me about their ones to feed.
Yeah.
And we're doing small cattle, usually under 1,000 pound.
Okay.
We like the miniature Herefords.
Yeah.
They're really good temperament. Even the bulls are really good temperament. They're easier to keep in. They don't try to tear anything up. I could probably leave this electric fence off and they probably won't go through it.
Yeah.
But we do have a belted Galloway. He's going to be for meat in about another year and a half.
Okay.
And I move this electric fence around. It depends on how fast they eat the grass up, but usually probably a couple of weeks or so. And that's regenerative grazing.
Sure.
So after I get it moved, I'll use the lawnmower and mow over their nice good fertilizer, and that makes it good for the soil and good for the grass to come back. And that's Charlie, our boar. He's a red wattle. There's 3 red wattle piglets that'll be going to freezer camp here in probably about another 4 months.
So Charlie here's your breeder.
Yes.
Yep. And then we said you got the red wattles.
Piglets.
Piglets.
Yep. And IPP.
Idaho pasture pigs. Okay, got that.
And we want to try them out, but we're thinking that we're going to probably get an IPP gilt and have a cross of red wattle and Idaho pasture pig.
And you were telling me also this isn't just for you, right? So you're raising, there's some other people involved.
Yes.
So who else? Because I like the idea of it being a family affair, right?
It is. We're raising some of this for our family and ourselves, and we give some to our neighbors. One of these red wattle piglets we're raising for one of our neighbors.
Okay.
And because we kept bragging about how good the red wattle meat was, so he wanted to try one.
Yeah, so there's one that you're gonna give to your in-laws, right?
That's gonna, well, one's kind of gonna get divided up, you know, with my in-laws and you know, my parents and brothers and sisters. There's some that eat pork, some that don't. Same thing with the beef and chicken. Not to brag, but with some of the turkeys we raised last year, we had a big Thanksgiving last year.
Oh, great.
Went to one in-law's house. There was like 3 different types of turkeys that were brought. They were all store-bought turkey. But we did one of our own here when my family came in, and one of my sister-in-laws came in with her boys, and everybody just, it was a 9-pound turkey, and we still had some left because there was so much meat.
So much meat on it.
And everybody was just bragging how more flavorful that turkey was.
Well, speaking of them, let's go check the turkeys out because they look like they're over there.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so speaking of the turkeys, we're walking up on these. I see we got, so how many turkeys do you have? Because they're in here with chickens.
Yes,
okay.
There's 2 turkeys. Miss Brown and Miss Dre, we saved them from last year from being processed.
Okay.
And then they started giving us eggs early spring. That lasted for a couple months, and those eggs were delicious.
Man.
And you get,
I've never had or heard of turkey eggs, but it makes perfect sense.
They're good, but they're kind of rare to get.
Yeah.
You know, so they're not like a chicken that can lay just about almost every day. They're a little bit seasonal with the turkeys. So they're definitely going to cost more if you try to go out and buy them.
Of course. So of these birds that are in here, because you got some in the chicken tractors, and then we got some in here, what's their role? What are they up to versus the ones that are in the chicken tractors?
Well, 2 of the tractors have the meat chickens, and they just, that's their purpose. They come out here, they're living a good life, a happy life, they're mowing, eating bugs and all that good stuff, getting exercise in versus being stuck in a cage all day. Because they get to move around. And then, you know, when their time comes, when they're roughly about, 5 to 7 pounds, we'll process them and put them in the freezer. These chickens here, along with some of the new ones that are in that other tractor over there, they're for egg purposes.
Okay.
And at one point, I had the ducks living with the chickens, but ducks, they just kept...
Oh, they don't get along?
Oh, they got along. They just kept drinking up all the water.
Ah, okay.
So I got them 2 kiddie pools over there. That's filled with water. I clean them out about once a week and put fresh water in unless got inclement weather, and let the rain handle it.
Awesome. Well, let's go see the ducks. Let's walk that way. Let me check this out. Okay, so we're walking up over to the ducks, which we can clearly hear and see. Tell me a little bit about your preference for them versus chickens. Like, why ducks? Why duck eggs?
Over in a lot of European countries and a lot of big-time chefs, they like using duck eggs for baking.
Okay.
They're just as healthy as the chicken eggs. They're just bigger. They got a bigger yolk.
Okay.
They get the same feed as my chickens do. So the only difference in their eggs I can tell is just it's a little richer flavor, but it's still good, just as healthy.
And they don't leave.
And no, they don't leave. They're a little bit too fat to really fly very far.
I know how they feel.
Our first 2 ducks, Daffy, which is our mallard, and then that big white duck over there is Donald.
Okay.
Oh, we thought Donald was a boy, and Daffy was a girl, because Daffy, they grew up with our first like 20 chickens.
I got you.
When they were all real little. So Donna would act like she's protecting them, and Daffy was like mothering them.
I got it.
Well, come to find out, when the ducks that are really loud are female ducks.
Okay.
The male ducks have a raspy voice.
Okay.
And
you appear to have a duck, Will, that has an identity crisis here.
Oh yeah.
It appears to be a chicken.
Yes.
Is this duck aware that it's a chicken?
I don't know. She's been a special one. Her name is Reba. She's a red cochin.
Okay.
Sometimes she would get out from the electric fence and she'd come over here and hang out with the ducks. And I've tried to get her moved several times in the past month.
This is her happy place.
This is her happy place. She likes being with the ducks.
She likes hanging with the ducks. I get it. She's your ambassador to the chickens. It's working well.
It is. We had 5 ducks at once, and now we got 16.
Okay.
15 are females for egg purposes.
Awesome.
We got 2 runner ducks. They're these ones that stand
straight up.
Straight up. We got a Cayuga. We got a blue Swedish and a black Swedish. We got 2 white egg layers. We got a Khaki Campbell. We got a Rowan. An apple yard,
a lot of different duck species going on.
And the same thing with the chickens. There's might be 2 of the same, maybe, but they're all just different types.
That's awesome.
One of our roosters over here, I got 3 roosters over there. One's named Fogger and Leghorn.
Okay.
Just like the cartoon, and sometimes when these 3 roosters are amongst each other, it's like watching a circus and cartoons from back in the day when we were kids.
Well, awesome. Well, let's see if we can track these cows down. We're going to try again. We're going to head that way. So let's go see if we can track the couple of cows down and talk a little bit about them.
All righty.
All right. So tell me again about these 2 cows that you have and kind of what the plan is with them.
We got a belted Galloway. We just made him a steer a couple of weeks ago. We got him banded, so here in about another year and a half, he'll be, for beef purposes, it's kind of hard. He's the second calf that was born here.
There's something about that, isn't there?
There is.
There is, yeah.
Even though it's what their purpose is.
The whole point, yeah, but
it still does hurt.
Yeah.
Some, even processing those meat chickens, because you've raised it yourself. But you got to keep in mind that's their purpose. With some of those breeds, it's like with cattle too. If you go too far, it's going to be too tough, or they're going to have health problems or something. Our low-line Angus, Miss Fawn, she's the red calf over there. We plan on breeding her to a miniature Hereford bull that we plan on getting this summer.
Okay.
And they're a little bit shy today for whatever reason. If I brought a whole scoop of feed, they'd come running, I imagine. Which we'll go feed here.
Maybe all this talk about their demise has them, having second thoughts about coming over hanging out with us.
It might be. But we do plan on getting a couple more cows, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. One's going to be for straight ground beef. We'll probably be feeding her out for probably a couple of months.
Okay.
She'll be grass fed or hay fed. And then there's going to be another one that's going to be for breeding also. That's a miniature Hereford. We've really enjoyed the miniature Herefords. I had a belted Galloway mama, but the Texas heat this summer, and she was older than we thought, got her. But the funny thing is I didn't have to bottle feed these calves.
Okay.
I don't know, after about a month, they like practically almost winged themselves.
Took to grass
they took to grass and water and sweet feed, and it's like, okay,
great.
Y'all stepped up your game. I ain't used to that.
Yeah, so that's awesome. I want to talk a little bit more as we head back towards the house, maybe about, how you've learned how to do this and those things. So let's head that way and visit a little bit about how all this came to be.
All righty.
So something I was noticing, Will, as we were walking around, we've got the greenhouse, we've got some storage. Obviously things are kind of shut down because we're in the time of year where we're not growing season necessarily.
Yes.
But I couldn't help but notice this device right here. Even though we're out here on this homestead, the farm, obviously a very, very rural area.
It is.
What are we looking at here?
This is Starlink. We put in for that like a couple of years ago, and we finally got it, I think early spring, mid-spring this year. And
bandwidth?
Bandwidth is great.
Yeah.
This part of Delta County, it is very rural.
Right.
There's not very many options.
I didn't see a lot of fiber optic cable.
Like
as I was driving out here.
At first, we were using our hotspots on our phone, and we went through Cricket and had a little mobile hotspot through them.
And I noticed you have like Netflix and all this stuff, like so you can stream.
Yes.
No problem.
No problem.
And you're out here on your rural land. See, I'm okay with the rural lifestyle, and we have all the conveniences of technology.
It is very awesome. Starlink is like unlimited on how many devices can be hooked up. I got the whole alarm systems all hooked into it with the cameras and all that, and I can stream. My wife can work.
And Val works from home, right?
Yes.
So this is great to talk about, because I know we have a lot of customers that they want to make the leap. They want to get out to a rural area, but a lot of them, particularly now, they work remotely or they need internet access a couple days a week, and this is a game changer.
It is. There's like 15 devices that's hooked into that right now.
Yep.
And I can go talk to my friend up in Missouri, another Marine veteran friend of mine, and my wife won't have any problems with her job. I can stream, do whatever. Nothing gets lagged out, nothing times out.
Incredible.
Once in a while, it's been normally in the evening, but once in a while, for not even a split second, it might go down, and that's just satellites moving.
Yeah.
And
maybe it's time to take a break.
Yeah.
Read a book.
But it's like it'll go down and it's already back up for even device like, hey, you went down.
Awesome.
So,
well, let's head out to the front of the house and talk a little bit more about what brought us out here.
Alrighty.
So, Will, I know you ended up here. We want to talk about that certainly, but tell me, how this lifestyle appealed to you. Where'd you learn how to do this stuff? Because this is a lot. It's a lot of work.
It is. It's just like with any other job. I mean, work is work.
Yeah.
No matter how you look at it. And but find something that you enjoy doing, and then call it work.
And you had a friend, or I guess a landlord actually, up in Oklahoma.
Yes, I did.
So he kind of led you into this.
He did. I didn't know what I was getting into whenever I told him I'd help him, so I could have something to do. First thing we did is take metal off an old building and turn around and fed his horses and cows. And when springtime came around, he showed me how he did his gardening. And then from there, I met my wife, and we believe in faith. Mm-hmm. And she said the Lord told her to start looking for land, so we were looking all over East Texas, Mineola, Tyler. We wound up here in Klondike. We found this piece of land he led us to. It was labeled in No City, Texas.
My idea of paradise.
And I was like, that's awesome. I mean, nice and quiet.
Yeah.
And he led us also with Tilson to build our home.
Yeah. So tell me about that. How did you find Tilson? How did we become a fit for this kind of lifestyle?
Well, building in rural areas, it can be a challenge. Some counties, they want all kinds of different permits. Some counties like, thanks for filing. We don't care. As long as it works, you're good.
Yeah.
And my wife was looking up custom home builders, and Tilson just kept popping up, and we decided to do a tour. We went to the Melissa office. It was closer for me coming from Oklahoma. Sure. And we met Cheyenne.
Yep.
And she was awesome.
Found a plan you liked?
Found a plan I liked. We took my mother-in-law to the Waxahachie office.
Okay.
And she loved the Whitney.
Okay.
She loved the master bedroom.
Oh.
And the color. she loves beige. And then we went from there. We went to Weatherford. I loved to have the Breckenridge. That was not in the budget.
It's a lot of house. You got enough work to do.
Oh yeah. And so our new Oasis has a little bit of each home in it.
Yeah. And that's and what I've noticed about some of the things you talked about your neighbors. I want to talk a little bit about that, and I want because it really does kind of encompass what a lot of our customers are trying to do. They're obviously they have neighbors in whatever community that they're in, maybe it's a master plan community or a city or something like that. But when you come out here, you find out really what being a neighbor is about. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, when we got this land and Tilson was starting the construction here, obviously you got to keep certain areas mowed down until the building process starts. And one of our neighbors up the road, who's been baling hay off this for the last 30 years or so, I asked him if he could keep it mowed so I wouldn't be driving 82 miles one way. And he's like, sure, not a problem.
No big deal.
And didn't ask for a dime or anything. And if I need help with anything out here, I got a lot of neighbors that will help, and it's vice versa. If they need help with something, I'll help them. Yeah,
because like we were talking, if livestock gets out or birds flying everywhere or a pipe bust or you need help hanging a gate, like you need help.
Yes.
And you find out real quick that kind of everybody out here is going to be in a situation like that at some point, and it's nice to have that community to be able to get in and deal with those situations.
It is. A rural lifestyle is a cultural shock in a way. It's not the whole busy hustle and bustle like it is in the city, but I got a neighbor that's a mile and a half away. If I need help hanging a gate or taking care of the animals because I had an emergency, or my wife wants to travel somewhere, they'll come right over and take care of them. They don't even ask for anything. They'll just do it out of the kindness of their heart.
That's awesome. Well, I do want to thank you and Val for letting us come out here and do this. We're super, super grateful for all the support that y'all have given us. Of course, you tune into the lives all the time, and we love hearing the farm updates. Thank you for sharing your home with us. Thank you for letting us come and invite this community in to see kind of what this lifestyle is all about. I genuinely appreciate everything that you've done for our company, for trusting us, and we hope to soon make you guys part of the Tilson family. Thank you very much.
It's an honor.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.